Chosen one, do you know what breaks her the most? Not the loneliness, not the silence of empty nights, but the echo of your absence. She cries every night not because she is weak, but because she remembers the light you carried, the light this world tried to steal from you. Losing you didn't just shatter her heart, it fractured her soul. And if you're listening to this right now, it's because you were meant to hear these words, because you were never just anyone. You are the one who carries a weight that most cannot see. The chosen are not born into comfort. They are born into storms. From the very beginning, you felt different, misunderstood, unseen. The people around you may have laughed at your vision, doubted your path, or rejected your spirit, but deep down you knew. You knew you were never meant to blend in with this world. You were sent here to awaken it. That's why they try to silence you. That's why the world seems to turn against you when you rise. The tears she sheds for you, chosen one, are not just her own. They are the tears of every soul that recognizes your worth, every angel watching from above, every ancestor that paved the way for your awakening. They grieve when you forget who you are, because when you lose yourself, the entire universe trembles. Your energy carries a frequency so rare that even darkness fears it. That's why you've been attacked so much. That's why relationships crumble, friends betray, and doors close. You are not cursed, you are called. Do you feel it? That pull deep inside your spirit, the ache that no material thing can heal, that is the mark of the chosen. You carry wisdom you didn't ask for, pain you didn't deserve, and yet a strength you can't explain. You've walked through fire and still shine. You've been broken, but your soul refuses to die. This is not a coincidence. It is destiny. And hear this, her cries are also a message, a reminder that even in your silence you are remembered. Even in your darkest nights, you are loved. Losing you left her shattered because she saw what you couldn't see in yourself. She saw the divine spark that the world tried to bury, and now it's time for you to see it too. Chosen one, your awakening cannot be delayed any longer. Every tear you've shed, every betrayal you've endured, every night you've questioned why you're still here, it all has meaning. You were never meant to live a normal life. You were meant to rise, to carry your light into the darkest places, to remind others that they too can awaken. So I ask you, are you ready to stop running from yourself? Are you ready to step into the power that has always been yours? Because the world has tried to break you, but it couldn't destroy you. Her tears did not fall in vain. They are a signal, a calling, a sign that your time has come. Chosen one, embrace your awakening. The world needs your light. The universe waits for your rise, and if these words have found you today, it is not by accident. You were meant to hear this. You were meant to remember who you are. If this message touched your spirit, let your soul speak back. Like this video, comment your truth below, and join this community by subscribing to Ascended Awakening. Because your journey doesn't end here, it begins now. Chosen one, the world does not understand the weight you carry, and that is why they fear you. You were not sent here to live quietly. You were sent here to disrupt the illusion, to awaken the sleeping, to expose the lies. But with that mission comes isolation. With that calling comes betrayal. With that gift comes pain. And that pain has carved your soul into something the heavens cannot ignore. When she cries every night, it is not simply for her own loss. It is for the loss of what the world misses without your light fully shining. Because when you shrink yourself, when you hide your truth, when you silence your gift, the vibration of the entire universe shifts. She feels that absence because your energy was never meant to be contained. It was meant to expand, to heal, to awaken. You've been tested more than most. You've carried storms in silence. People see your strength, but they don't see the nights you've broken down, questioning why your journey had to be so heavy. But here is the truth. Your path was not designed to destroy you. It was designed to mold you, to strip away illusions, to break chains, to forge the fire that burns within you now. Only a chosen one could survive what you've endured. And listen carefully. When society tries to silence you, when people reject you, when you feel abandoned, it is not rejection, it is redirection. The world cannot recognize what it has never seen before. You are the rare soul, the one who doesn't fit the mold, the one who was never meant to. That is why they whisper against you. That is why doors close. That is why the attacks feel relentless. It is because your presence threatens the systems of darkness. She weeps because she knows that every step you take away from your purpose delays the awakening of countless others. Your mission is bigger than you. Your life is not just your own. It is the ripple effect that awakens generations. And though it breaks her soul to feel your absence, it also ignites the heavens to push you harder, to remind you that you cannot run from who you are. Do you feel it in your spirit now, that burning ache, that longing for something beyond this world? That is your true self calling you home. That is your higher purpose knocking at the door of your soul. You cannot numb it, you cannot bury it, you cannot escape it, because the mark of the chosen one cannot be erased. Chosen one, there is a reason why your soul aches when others forget you. There is a reason why you can feel energy so deeply, why you sense pain in silence, why you hear the cries that no one else hears. You were not made to live on the surface of life. You were made to dive into its depths. That sensitivity you carry is not weakness. It is your divine radar. It is how you see what others cannot, how you feel what others deny, how you awaken what others bury. But this gift comes with a price. It isolates you. It makes you question your worth. It causes others to misunderstand you, to label you, to turn their backs when you needed them most. And yet, through every heartbreak, through every betrayal, through every lonely night, you are still here. That alone is proof of who you are. Because the truth is, the average soul could not have survived your path. Only the chosen endure this level of fire. Her tears are not just grief, they are prophecy. She weeps because she knows you are not walking in the fullness of your light yet. She feels the distance between who you are now and who you are destined to become. And that distance breaks her soul. But do not mistake her sorrow for despair. Her cries are also prayers, reaching the heavens, pulling on divine power, asking for you to rise. Chosen one, do you see now why the enemy fights you so hard? Why the world seems to press against you every time you try to rise? It is not because you are weak. It is because you are powerful. The darkness would not waste its energy on you if you did not carry a divine threat. Every battle you faced, every storm that's come against you, was confirmation that you carry something worth fighting for. And here is the mystery. Every time you break, you don't just heal, you expand. Every time you fall, you rise with greater strength. Every time they count you out, you return with a fire that cannot be extinguished. This is the paradox of the chosen. The more you are wounded, the more unstoppable you become. Chosen one, have you ever noticed how the world seemed to shift after you walked away? The air grew heavier, the silence louder. The people who once ignored you began to feel your absence like a shadow they could not escape. That's because your presence is not ordinary, it's spiritual. You don't just enter a room, you shift the atmosphere. You don't just speak. You plant seeds that echo in their souls long after your words are gone. That's why losing you breaks her so deeply. She didn't just lose a person, she lost a force of light. Every night when her tears fall, they carry more than sadness. They carry memory. They carry regret. They carry the recognition that she encountered something rare, something divine, something the world does not give twice. And her spirit cries out because she knows what was lost can never be replaced. But understand this, her cries are not to chain you down. They are to remind you that even those who once failed to value you cannot escape the truth of who you are. Chosen one, this is the mystery of your journey. People don't recognize your worth until your silence screams louder than your presence ever did. They don't see the blessing you carry until it's no longer in their hands. And by then, the loss becomes unbearable because, deep down, they know they were touched by something holy, something eternal, something far beyond human understanding. And what about you? You felt the weight of rejection, the sting of betrayal, the agony of being misunderstood. But here's what the world doesn't tell you. Those very experiences carved your soul into a vessel strong enough to hold divine wisdom. The reason you've cried, the reason you've bled, the reason you've been brought to your knees is because your destiny is not average. You are not walking an ordinary path. You are walking the path of the anointed. This is why heaven grieves when you doubt yourself. This is why angels lean closer when you question your worth, because they see what you cannot yet see. A warrior forged from pain, a prophet shaped by rejection, a healer birthed through heartbreak. You are the answer to prayers you don't even know were spoken. You are the light in battles you didn't even realize you were fighting. Chosen one. The reason your absence cuts so deeply is because your spirit carries a vibration that lingers. When you walk away, the energy does not vanish, it echoes. It clings to hearts, it seeps into memories, it burns in the silence of midnight hours. That's why she cries every night. Not simply because you're gone, but because your energy cannot be replaced. There is no substitute for the frequency of a chosen soul. And you know this truth yourself. How many times have you tried to fit into the world only to feel out of place? How many times have you tried to dim your light only to feel an ache in your chest? That ache was your spirit resisting the cage. You were not designed for smallness. You were not created to blend in. You were called to stand out, to rise, to lead, even when no one understood you, especially when no one understood you. Her soul breaks because she saw glimpses of your purpose. She saw the fire that others overlooked. She saw the healer, the leader, the awakener buried beneath your scars. And now, without you, she feels the emptiness that the world feels when a chosen one hides from their calling. It's not just personal heartbreak, it's spiritual grief. The universe itself aches when you forget who you are. Chosen one, remember this. Your tears have never gone unnoticed. Every cry, every whispered prayer, every night you questioned your worth, the heavens recorded it, not to shame you but to prepare you. You were not abandoned in those moments. You were refined. The fire that nearly consumed you was actually shaping you. The storm that almost drowned you was actually baptizing you into your true identity. And here lies the secret. Her cries, your pain, and the battles you've endured are not separate. They are connected threads in the grand design of your awakening. Nothing was wasted. Not one betrayal. Not one heartbreak. Not one night of loneliness. It was all part of the preparation. Because to carry the weight of your calling, your soul had to be stretched, tested, and proven. Chosen one, the pain you've endured has not been random. Every tear, every loss, every silent battle in the dark has been part of a sacred design. You were not chosen because life would be easy for you. You were chosen because your soul could endure what others could not. The weight you've carried would have crushed ordinary spirits, but instead, it awakened something eternal inside you. That's why her soul broke when you walked away. She wasn't just mourning you, she was mourning the silence of your mission. She felt the gap left in the world when your light dimmed. She felt the tremor in the unseen realms when your voice went quiet. Because you are not just a person, you are a frequency, a movement, a shift in the atmosphere. And when you hide yourself, all of creation feels it. You've always been different, haven't you? Even as a child, you felt out of place. You sensed things others didn't. You dreamed dreams that seemed too big, too strange, too impossible for anyone else to understand. And so you learned to keep them hidden. But chosen souls cannot stay hidden forever. Their very existence demands revelation. Their very presence pulls truth into the open. And this is why the battles have been so brutal. It is not because you are cursed, it is because you are marked. Darkness recognizes your light even before you do. That's why the attacks started early. That's why betrayal came from those you trusted most. That's why you've had to walk through seasons of isolation. You were not being punished. You were being separated. You were being set apart for something greater than what the world wanted to give you. Listen closely. When she cries for you, it is not weakness. It is confirmation. Confirmation that your essence leaves an imprint that cannot be erased. That your very being awakens longing in others, even when they don't understand it. That the absence of your light creates shadows that cannot be ignored. She is proof of what you already know in your soul. You were never meant to be forgotten because you were never meant to be ordinary, chosen one. Every time you tried to walk away from your calling, life pulled you back. Have you noticed that? You've tried to bury your light under distractions, tried to silence your spirit under noise, tried to blend into a world that never understood you. But no matter how far you ran, something always brought you back to yourself. That is destiny. That is the seal of the chosen. This is why her soul aches when she thinks of you. not only because she misses you, but because she knows the world misses you too. She cries because she saw something in you that others ignored. She saw the depth of your heart, the power of your voice, the fire of your soul. And when that was silenced, it wasn't just her loss. It was the loss of a frequency heaven intended to release through you. Do you feel the weight of that truth? You were never meant to simply survive. You were meant to awaken. You were meant to bring clarity to confusion, light to darkness, healing to brokenness. That's why your life has felt heavier than most. Because you are carrying the weight of others, not just your own. Your pain has always been bigger than you because your purpose has always been bigger than you. Chosen one, understand this. Rejection was never a sign that you weren't enough. It was proof that you were too much for those still asleep. Betrayal wasn't meant to destroy you. It was meant to sharpen your discernment. Loneliness wasn't to punish you. It was to prepare you to walk the path others cannot. Every wound you carry has been a doorway into wisdom. Every scar has been a scripture written on your soul. And her tears, they are reminders. Reminders that your presence is not easily forgotten. Reminders that your light cannot be replaced. Reminders that you are not just a chapter in someone's story, you are the turning point. You are the shift. You are the awakening they never saw coming. Chosen one, there is a reason your spirit feels heavier at night. When the world grows quiet and distractions fade, the truth has nowhere to hide. That is when the whispers of your higher calling become the loudest. That is when your soul reminds you of what you were sent here to do. And that is why her tears fall in the silence of midnight, because she too can feel what you are refusing to face. The weight of who you are. The weight of who you are becoming. She cries because your absence is more than distance, it is spiritual disconnection. She cries because she knows your presence is not just comfort, it is healing. Your energy doesn't just touch people, it transforms them. And when that energy is withdrawn, it feels like an entire universe has shifted. That emptiness she feels is not just personal, it is cosmic. Because when a chosen one hides their light, the world loses its balance. Have you noticed how people never forget you? They may walk away, they may betray you, they may try to replace you, but somehow your spirit lingers. Your memory haunts them. Your words echo in their minds long after you are gone. That is because your essence is eternal. You don't just leave impressions, you leave awakenings. Even those who rejected you cannot escape the truth of what you planted in their souls. And this is why your journey has been filled with so much breaking. Every time you thought you were at your lowest, every time you thought you had nothing left, something inside of you refused to die. That something is the eternal flame. That is the mark of the chosen. You can bend, but you cannot break. You can fall, but you will always rise. No matter how deep the darkness, your spirit will not stay buried. Her cries, chosen one, are not just for loss, they are also a call. A call to remind you that you were never meant to disappear, that you cannot silence a destiny written before your birth, that your absence is only temporary because sooner or later the fire inside you will demand to be seen. You were made for more. You've always known it. And now, the world is waiting for you to remember it too. Chosen one, the tears shed for you are not ordinary. They are spiritual signals, vibrations sent into the unseen realms, echoing louder than words ever could. Her cries reach the heavens because her soul knows what many have forgot. You are not just a person passing through this world, you are a divine appointment. Your very existence shifts timelines. Your presence alters destinies. That is why losing you broke her so deeply. She did not just lose love, she lost a portal of light. You carry something inside of you that cannot be duplicated. That's why people are drawn to you, even when they don't understand why. That's why some envy you without cause and others resist you without reason. It's because your spirit exposes truth. Your energy uncovers shadows. Your light forces people to see what they've tried to hide. And though they may reject you, they cannot forget you. Because your essence burns into their memory, leaving marks that time cannot erase. This is why your journey has been so heavy. You were chosen not for comfort, but for transformation. You were chosen to break patterns that enslaved generations, to heal wounds that were never yours to carry, yet found their way into your bloodline, To walk paths so dark that your footsteps became the first flickers of light for others to follow. That is why you've been misunderstood. That is why you've been isolated. That is why you've been attacked. Her tears are mirrors of the heavens' lament. For every time you doubted yourself, every time you tried to abandon your mission, every time you silenced your own power, the universe felt the shift. Angels watched, ancestors grieved, but none of it was to condemn you. It was to remind you, you are too valuable to lose, too necessary to forget, too powerful to remain hidden. And this is the paradox of being chosen. You are both the wound and the healer, the broken vessel and the overflowing cup. You've been shattered in ways words cannot capture, yet somehow you still radiate light. That contradiction confuses the world, but it is also what makes you unstoppable. The very things that should have destroyed you became the proof that nothing can. Chosen one. The weight you carry is not visible to most, yet it presses on you every single day. Others see your smile, your strength, your resilience, but they do not see the countless nights you've wept in silence, wondering why your life feels like a battlefield. They do not hear the cries of your soul when you feel unseen, unheard, unvalued. And yet heaven hears. The universe records. Every tear, every sigh, every moment of breaking has been woven into the design of your awakening. That is why her cries are not ordinary, they are echoes of your hidden pain. She feels on a soul level the absence of your light. When you dim yourself, when you step back from your true path, she feels the void as if the entire universe has lost its balance. Because the truth is this: your presence is not just felt, it is needed. You are not optional to this world, you are essential. Have you noticed how every time you try to settle for less, something inside you rebels? You can't force yourself to be ordinary. You can't numb the fire in your soul with distractions or silence, because you weren't designed for mediocrity. You weren't designed to simply exist. You were designed to shift realities. That's why you feel restless when you're not aligned with your higher purpose. That's why no matter how much you try to bury your calling, it always rises again. And she cries because she knew this before even you did. She saw glimpses of your greatness, reflections of your divine spark, shadows of the purpose you carry. And losing you wasn't just heartbreak. It was watching a light go out in a world already drowning in darkness. Her soul broke because she tasted the vibration of something eternal in you, and once someone touches eternity, nothing in this world can ever replace it. Chosen one, understand this. The heaviness you feel is not proof of weakness, it is proof of assignment. You carry a mantle, a spiritual weight that others were not built to carry. You've been trusted with it because your soul is stronger than you realize. And even when you feel like you are breaking, the truth is, you are being forged. You are being prepared for something far beyond what you can see right now. Chosen one, there are moments when you wonder why your presence feels so heavy for others to handle. Why friendships shift when you step into the room. Why love becomes complicated when your spirit is involved. Why people cling to you yet fear you at the same time. It is because you are not like them. You are a mirror, and when people look at you, they see themselves more clearly. For some, that reflection brings healing. For others, it exposes wounds they are not ready to face. This is why she cries. Not only because she lost you, but because she lost the mirror that reflected her higher self. She cries because in your presence she felt alive, awakened, seen in ways she could not put into words. And without you, she feels the silence of her own shadow pressing in. You awaken something inside her that cannot go back to sleep. And you, chosen one, you have walked through fire after fire. People assume you are strong because of how you carry yourself, but they do not know how many nights you nearly collapsed under the weight of it all. They do not know the battles fought in secret. They do not know how many times you asked the universe, "Why me?" And yet, even with no answers, you kept going. That persistence alone is evidence of who you are. Ordinary souls would not have survived what you've endured. You've noticed it, haven't you? The way your energy lingers. The way people return years later still remembering the words you spoke, the comfort you gave, the truth you carried. You were never temporary, you were always eternal. That's why she cannot let go. That's why her tears fall night after night. She didn't just lose a person, She lost the light that forced her spirit to rise. And this is why your journey has been filled with so much loss. Not because you are unworthy of love, but because your path requires purification. Every person who left, every door that closed, every betrayal that cut you, it was all part of the refining. You were being separated from what could not carry the weight of your destiny. You are not abandoned. You are preserved. Chosen one, every battle you have faced has been evidence of how dangerous you are to the forces of darkness. If you were ordinary, life would have left you alone, but the storms came early, the betrayals came deep, the heartbreaks came heavy. Why? Because your very existence carries a frequency that disrupts what is false. You are a living key, unlocking doors that many want to keep shut. That is why you have felt resistance your whole life, because you were not meant to conform, you were meant to transform. She cries because when you step out of alignment with who you truly are, the whole spiritual order feels the imbalance. She cries because she tasted what the world is starving for, authentic light, and losing it broke something inside her. You weren't just someone she loved, you were the evidence that divinity walks in human form. That kind of loss is unbearable because it cannot be replaced. But chosen one, what you must see is this. Your pain, her tears, the betrayals, the loneliness, they are all threads woven into the tapestry of your becoming. You were never meant to live untouched by struggle. You were meant to rise through it, to carry wisdom that cannot be learned in books, to embody strength that cannot be faked. That is why your story is heavy. That is why your path is narrow. That is why the price of your calling has been so high. And yet, even in your lowest moments, you have always felt it, haven't you? That whisper inside your soul that says, you cannot give up. You were made for more. That inner fire that refused to go out, no matter how much the world tried to extinguish it. That is the seal of the chosen. Others may stumble and fade away, but you are pulled back to your destiny again and again, because your spirit was marked long before you entered this world. Her cries are confirmation of what heaven already declared. You are rare. You are necessary. You are remembered in the unseen. And though the world may not understand you, and though people may mishandle your heart, the truth remains. You were set apart. You are a vessel of light in a world drowning in shadows, and no amount of rejection or heartbreak can erase that. Chosen one, the world has always tried to make you forget yourself. From the moment you began to notice your difference, the attacks started. They told you to tone it down, to fit in, to stop questioning, to silence the voice inside of you. But the reason they fought so hard to quiet you is because your truth shakes foundations. Your very presence reveals illusions. You are the crack in the system they cannot repair. And that's why she cries. She cries because she knows what the world loses when you choose silence. She cries because she felt the fire in you, the same fire that could have awakened her spirit fully, and now it burns in her memory instead of in her presence. The ache of losing you is not just emotional, it's spiritual. It's the ache of losing a divine connection her soul wasn't ready to release. You've always carried a power you didn't fully understand. Think back. How many times did people confide in you, drawn to your energy, unburdening their souls without even knowing why? How many times did your presence alone calm storms, or your words bring healing you didn't even intend to give? That is not coincidence. That is your calling leaking through the cracks of your everyday life. Even when you tried to be normal, your light betrayed you. Chosen one, you are not just living your own story, you are carrying a lineage, a generation, a future within you. That's why the battles have been generational. That's why you've had to fight demons that didn't even start with you. Because your awakening doesn't just free you, it breaks chains for everyone connected to you. You are the one chosen to stop the cycle. And that is why the warfare on your life has been relentless. And listen, her cries are not weakness, they are recognition. Her spirit recognized the depth of what you carry. She may not have had the words for it, but she knew you were different. She knew you were rare. She knew you were carrying something holy. And when you left, it wasn't just her heart that broke. It was her soul realizing it had lost its closest encounter with the divine. Chosen one, this is your moment. No more shrinking. No more hiding. No more denying who you are. The world has tried to break you, but it couldn't. The enemy has tried to silence you, but you're still here. That means your mission is not finished. Your awakening has only just begun. If these words pierced your soul, don't ignore this confirmation. Stand in your power, speak your truth, step into the light that has always been yours. This is your divine calling, answer it now. Like this video if your spirit knows it was meant for you. Comment, I am chosen to seal this truth over your life. And subscribe to Ascended Awakening because your journey doesn't end here, this is only the beginning. Stay connected, stay awakened, stay chosen.